Of the Sign is the second full-length album from Spirit Possession, a Portland, Oregon-based black metal band from who've sort of come from a different side of Steve Peacock's oeuvre. Who he's best known for Mastery and Othar and various other bands, which are certainly experimental by design, such as Pandiscordia Necrogenesis. And he's joined by drummer Ashley Spungen, who is, I think, currently the live drummer for Vuna, but has featured in other experimental projects of her own, which are often centered around demonstrating the bespoke synthesizers that she makes or produces or whatnot. So the interesting thing, or the way that I start the conversation here with about spirit possession, it could go two ways. One is that this is the type of band that is sort of made possible by Negative Plane and their approach to classic black metal, fusing between the first and the second wave and finding elements of thrash and atmosphere and whatnot. And anyway, none of that's that important for this discussion. It's more that what I really wanted to muse upon was the effect of thrashing black metal and how it can create the illusion of speed, of complexity, and how the cacophony of effects that come with atmospheric production values can often create something that is bigger than it actually is when you really get down to it and look at what it's made of. So this is kind of one of those bands where they make such a fracas. There's such an explosion happening every time that they perform on each of their, on their demo and their first couple of records here now, that it takes a while just to sit back and sort of pay attention to what they're actually saying, what they're actually playing, and what's hype and what's actually really cool. So I think we'll get to what's pretty cool and what's pretty obvious, which is the sound of this record and the unique riff style, by just jumping into a song right away. Right, so there's a sort of a live wire here with this band where their production values have tamed a little bit. They're a little bit less noisome than before, but you still get that presence, that attack, and the eerie effects laden sound of the band, which is not totally unrelated to something like Funereal Presence or Malacarpatan, but it's also something very different in a lot of ways. And maybe that comes down to my appreciation of the minutia there, but the big thing here is that there is some more general appreciation for speed metal and heavy metal on this record, and you find it in the more composed pieces, the bits that circle back around into something that is a little bit memorable. Whereas Spirit Possession, the self-titled full length from 2020, their debut, was more scatterbrained. It was all about sort of that early sort of Dark Throne influenced side of Ara Noir, where there was quite a lot of noise involved with what they were doing, but there wasn't a lot of substance, And this is not that, but it is a much better version of what they had done on the first record. Now, the way I put it here is that this is a continuation of the conversation that the first album opened up in terms of what they present, but it's maybe a deeper conversation. Maybe it's a little bit more of a signature developed here in terms of the riffs, and really that is what is great about this record, is the guitar playing. Dress it up however you want. Just listening to that guitar run endlessly off into the night is kind of the big draw here, and the unique riff style is very much rooted in the core appeal of like I say in the review, is that there's this thrashing abandon to early extreme metal that is pretty rare these days, in terms of feeling a little bit self-conscious as to even the most blunt raw music is a little bit measured. And this has an intelligence behind it, but it's a feral intelligence, and that's something that I appreciated about this record is that it is technically kind of dazzling in some points, but it does also feel random and crazed at most points. So I'd really gotten into it. Um, I wouldn't say that listening to it over and over and over really brought any benefit to me. Um, the most of the songs sort of suss themselves out, and there are clear standouts here. And then I had other smaller notes. Like I don't really particularly like the cover painting they chose. Smaller details in terms of like the actual like product. But as an experience, this was a great record, and it comes with a high recommendation. So check it out if that's your kind of thing. I think it does have a lot of appeal to both like the black thrash and black speed metal crowd, as much as just the you know unusual black metal crowd. So see if that's your thing. Check out the review for more details, and there you go.